Alright guys, hey, this is bloody crazy. Get off me. Get off me. Get out. Get out of here. Anyways, um I just logged in today and I went to the Dungeon Fighter Online Facebook page and I saw this person complaining about the FP system. And granted I already did a video about this, but this isn't us discussing the well, no, we still are. This isn't discussing something that'll replace the FP system. This is rather us saying or discussing what we would be able to do to add on to the system. Let me explain that. Like, the blitz point system is obviously flawed. I mean, if you look at, I'm gonna put a link in the description where it's gonna go to a video where it's gonna say everything that was wrong. Like some of the major cons about having the blitz point system. But one of them was that people could just honestly, or the gold farmers could just be rampant. They were allowed to be rampant. While with the fatigue point system, it stops them a little, but not completely. Now, recently, Dungeon Fighter Online on the Facebook page, they have announced that they're gonna start banning, like permanently banning IPs or for sellers and gold buyers. I'm pretty sure that's not gonna really do much for the gold sellers, but it is gonna start to get rid of the people who are buying gold, and they're not just gonna ban the account; they're banning the IPs. So, people with dynamic IPs, however, proxies, I guess, will be able to go around that. But other than that, it'll probably do something. It'll do a little, put a little dent in there, which is a good thing. It's always a good thing. One of the things that I did, an idea that I had while I was trying to respond to this person was that what if it was a mixture, like the fatigue point system and the blitz point system? It was like a hybrid of the two, in the sense that you can run dungeons and gain experience points and gold and all that stuff while you have fatigue points, right? There's no bonuses, none of that nonsense. There's no bonuses, it's just experience and, gold, just like you regularly would, right? Once you hit 0 fatigue, though, you would be able to continue to farm or to do dungeons, but the only thing that would drop are items like equipment. Equipment only, right? The chances of the items dropping would not increase, they would not decrease, none of that. It would just stay the same, but you can continue to do dungeons. This means that people who have a character they really want to play on, they can continue to play. They don't get to gain experience, so they just gain the ability to farm items. And now let me go show you why I am recommending or just putting that out there, because a lot of the times I have to choose between farming for items or equipment and leveling up and finishing quests. And it might not seem like a big deal to some people, but I mean, I kind of do want to get gear. I want to get nice gear from a dungeon before moving on. It makes me feel better about myself, right? Now look right here. See this? See this? This is all the gear that people want from these dungeons. People really want to get this gear, but then you kind of have to, wow, I have quests there. Okay, you kind of have to choose between doing quests or farming gear. In which case, if you decide to farm gear, to do the next dungeon or what have you, then you lose your FP, and for all you know, you can't do the dungeon as much as you want, or you can't complete all the quests in the dungeon to level up and stuff like that. And the system that I'm recommending, or that I'm just putting out there, the suggestion that I'm suggesting, right, is that we can do dungeons with FP, like regular dungeons, quests, and level up like that. And then once we hit like the point where we have no more FP, we can't do quests and stuff like that. You could just go to a dungeon and farm the gear you want, like these uniques, right? And like I said before, there would be no buffs to the drop rate. There would be no decrease in the drop rate. You just would not get gold or experience. You won't level, but you will be able to farm the items that you need. This also means that you wouldn't be able to do quests, if that makes sense. I guess it's a very complicated system. Like, there's a lot of things that need to be thought out about it. It's just something that it occurred to me while typing out a comment, a very lengthy comment. It's very lengthy, but I don't know. It seems like a pretty decent idea for something I just thought up in like 5 minutes or a minute, I guess. And one of the things that I did recommend, I don't know if I said this already, but the items that drop are not tradable, right? You know, obviously the uniques are already not tradable, but I mean anything else that drops, you can't trade it, you can't sell it to, you know, in the auction house or anything like that. But the problem with that is that, you know, I'm not sure how, like the fragments. I know the fragments. Wait, hold up. Town fragments. Let's see these. Like, yeah, okay, see, the fragments sell. That's a problem. Because obviously the items would still be able to get disassembled here, you know, with these little shops that players set up. And that's kind of a problem. It's a slight problem because if the players, or if, yeah, the gold farmers start doing this, all they have to do is really dismantle, like, just dismantle any piece of gear, cost you a little bit of gold. Like right there, that's like 800, that's 4,000 gold right there. You know, I think these are 200 each. So yeah, they would be able to still kind of farm gold. That's a problem unless they made these untradeable, the little cubes or whatever you get from disassemblers, which it wouldn't hurt really the player base because you can still farm and get yourself, you know, the cubes you need or whatever, the material that you get from disassemblers. You can still go out and do that. The thing is, you can't sell them. So in a sense, it wouldn't really hurt the economy. Plus, you can't trade the items. And then now the other thing is that you can sell these items, I believe, at NPCs. Each one has a price. Yeah, you can see a price. So there's a lot of things that would need to be really thought out on this idea, but it's just something I'm going to put out there. And I wanted to know if you guys have any better ideas, or if you agree with this idea to a point, but you have like a better, more refined way. But for the time being, the FP system, it is open beta and stuff like that, right? Fine. But the fatigue system is it's slightly doing its job. Slightly. I'm gonna say slightly because it's not really that much of an impact that it's putting out. But I don't know. I mean, I like something like that because, like I said, I do like to gear myself up. I want to go out, do some dungeons, just get geared up really, just for myself. And I can't sometimes do that. Wow, that's a very cool name, Dank. Okay. Anyways, I sometimes can't do that because, well, let's admit it, we don't have the FP for it. We can't do it, or we have to choose between grinding for gear or progressing our character and like leveling up. That's kind of a choice I don't think we should have to make in an online game like this, because it's, you know, like this game, especially this game, feels like it's very, besides being very skill based, you also have to have a good sense of, or a good, like, decent equipment, which you can't get if you're out of fatigue points, and PvP isn't going to give you equipment. So you're kind of screwed. You kind of have to decide which one you want to buy. And a lot of people keep saying you should just use the auction house. No. I can't remember if it was this one. Like, I have 152,000 gold. I think it was the boots. The boots. No, it wasn't the boots. They were more expensive. Those are one of the pieces of equipment. Like, they'll go for 80,000 or whatever, and you kind of don't really have that much gold. You don't want to actually go to the auction house just to buy your gear. Sometimes I just want to go out and get my own gear for myself. But, you know, I'm gonna end the video. I'm gonna make this a really quick video. It's just an idea that I had, and I kind of wanted to record it because it seems like a good idea to me, but it's got flaws in it that I'm sure could be fixed, but I don't at the time don't know how to fix them. Maybe somebody who sees this will have like a freaking epiphany, and you know, yeah. Here's to hoping, right? This is bloody crazy. I'm gonna end this video right here, right now. No, wrong button. Anyways, see you.